lovely people, you are welcome back once again on my channel. So today we'll learn how to make a straight jumpsuit without waist joining. So guys, without wasting much of our time, let's dive into the tutorial. So on my table here I have this my brown paper, my pattern paper. Okay, so I'll be using this for this particular tutorial. So you first of all get your pattern paper ready. Okay, so after that you are going to mark 4 inches, 4 or 3 inches from the upper part or shoulder line of your pattern paper all the way down to the hem or to your full length. Okay, so after that you're going to rule a straight line like so. So I'm using the edge of this my pattern paper as my starting line or my shoulder line. So after ruling a straight line from here down to the full length or down to the hem of your dress, so you are going to mark out the vertical measurement. So here I'm trying to mark out my shoulder measurement. Okay, after marking out, this is my center front, this will serve as my center front. Then I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2, which is 8. I have 8 there. Then from there I'm going to come down by half an inch. Then from that half an inch I'm going to mark my armhole, which is 8 as well. So from there I'll connect with a straight line. Then I'll go ahead and connect my armhole line, okay, or my chest line. So I'm going to slant into my neckline or my center front, the 4 inches of allowance I give. So after that I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole. Then I'll go ahead and come in by half an inch. I'll give it a slant curve. Then I'll use my curve rule, or you can use your free hand to connect it into your armhole. Before then, we are going to get our bust measurement divided by 4, which is 10. I have 40 divided by 4, which is 10. So after that, you connect your armhole curve into your bust measurement. So from here, I'm going to mark my vertical measurement. Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark the bust point. This is my bust point. After that I'm going to mark the waist or the under bust. This is the under bust measurement. Then the waist and the hip line. So these are the vertical lines or the horizontal lines I have here. So these are my lines. Okay, so this is my bust point, my under bust and the waistline. Okay, so after that, now the next thing, remember we are drafting a full jumpsuit with no waist joining. Okay, so sorry guys for my voice. So from here you're going to determine the kind of neck depth you want. Remember we are drafting the front and back on the same pattern. So you can see here I use 3 inches for the neck width and 5 inches or thereabout for my neck depth. So you determine how low you want your front neckline to be. So later on I realized that this 5 inches was a little bit high. I altered it to come a little bit down. Okay, so this is what I have here. So I'm going to extend that neckline, the depth of the front neckline, into the 4 inches. Okay, so before then I'm going to mark my zipper allowance. So in this tutorial the zipper is at the front of the dress. You can see the way I'm trying to mark my 1 inch of zipper allowance all the way from the neckline down to the waistline. Okay guys, so now after that the next thing we're going to do is to input our that leg, that measurement, your bust span to bust span. So I'm using 4 inches here. So you can see how I'm marking out my that. So after that, from the underboard, the waistline rather, so I'm going to input half inch. So from, you can see the one I'm trying to connect. So this is our that leg. Sorry, what I have here, I have my bust point, my waistline, and my hip line. Okay, so that is what I have here. So you can see where my zipper allowance, it stopped at the hip. So how to get our crotch line, you are going to divide your hip measurement by 4. You can see starting from the waistline plus extra 2.5 inches. Okay, you can add 2.5, you can add 3 inches depending on your hip measurement. So that is what I'm doing right now. So from the waist, you are going to divide your hip circumference divided by 4 plus extra 2.5 inches of allowance for ease. So you are going to mark it. That will serve as your crotch line. So sorry, my camera didn't capture that part very well. So you can see I'm trying to extend my lines like so. So, and this is the crotch line, this is the hip. So after extending like so, I'm going to input my body circumference and my sewing allowance. Okay, so I've added my bust circumference and plus sewing allowance. Then for my waistline, my waist circumference divided by 4. Then I'm going to mark out my dart intake. Then I'll add my sewing allowance. So I have connected with a straight line. So for the hip, for my hip now, so we are stopping at the hip line. So here now I'm going to add my hip circumference divided by 4 plus my sewing allowance. Okay, so this is what I have here. So you can see. So now you're going to connect both. So sorry guys for my voice, I have a little cold. So after that, the next thing, we are working on the crotch line. So we're going to, you can see from the hip, from what I got here on the hip, I extended it to my crotch line. I've not added any allowance on the hip yet. So from the crotch line, I'm going to divide my thigh measurement. So my thigh measurement divided by 2. Remember, for the thigh, we are going to divide by 2, not by 4. So that's for the thigh measurement. We are going to divide it by 2. So from the hip line, I came in. You can see how I came in, marking my thigh measurement. So sorry, my camera didn't capture that side. Okay, now I think it's clear. So you can see from this hip, I came in, divided my thigh into 2. Then I came in into the 4 inch of allowance I marked. You can see how. Then I've connected my crouch curve. You can see the way I curve it. So from here now, from that hip line, okay, I extended the line down to the hem. From my hip line, you can see I've extended the hip line measurement all the way down to the hem. Okay, so now this is my crotch line. So from this crotch line as well, I'm going to extend it all the way to the hem, to the down of this dress. So this is what I have. So from my hip measurement, I'm going to add my sewing allowance. You can see I'm trying to add my sewing allowance on that hip part, the hip side. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of sewing allowance, maybe 1 inch. It's okay, or 1.5, depends on the kind of allowance you want to use. So this is what I'm trying to connect on the other side. I am so sorry, I don't know why my camera didn't capture this very well. Well, this is what I did. Okay, you can see I'm trying to use my hip curve to connect the hip, the allowance I added on the hip, to my waist. So remember, this is a straight jumpsuit without waist joining. Okay, so there won't be any waist joining. So For us to draft the back, I can see I've added more pattern paper. So this is the crouch, this is the crouch. So I'm extending the crouch line. That's why I can see I've extended my paper so that to be able to contain my crouch line. But first of all, let's work on our back neckline. Okay, so the back neck depth, we are going to be using 2 inches. Okay, so remember, I'm drafting the both front and back on the same pattern paper. So this neckline now is for the back neck depth. This is my back neck depth. Okay, so this is my back armhole. You can see this is my back armhole. This is how my back armhole will look. So you can see the front is having the zipper allowance. The front has the zipper. So this is it. So let's continue with our crouch. Let's continue. So on the crouch line, I'm going to extend it by 2 inches. Okay, or you can extend by 2.5 depending on. Then I came down by half an inch from that line. You can see the way I'm slanting it into that half an inch. This is optional though. You can decide to skip this part. So from here you can see I'll go ahead and connect. You can see, just watch the way I'm connecting it. I'm trying to use my free hand before I use my ruler to connect. So this is how the back crotch will look like. So this is how it looks like. You can see the way I connected it into the center front, not the zipper, center front, the original center front. The extended 1 inch is for my front zipper. Okay, so after that I'm go ahead and add 1 inch allowance from that crotch line. You can see I've added an allowance there. So I will extend it. Sorry, I didn't add any allowance. I actually extended the line. I marked to make sure I got a straight line. So this is for the back. That is why what I measured, to be sure what I extended, I measured it and ruled a straight line. Okay, so we are done with this. So we are going to first of all cut the back. I'll be cutting out the back first before we modify the front pattern. So you can see I'm cutting out the back first. So when I got to this point, you can see the way I'm going to cut it out. So you can see I went ahead to fold it in. So you can see I folded the zipper in. Remember, the front has the zipper allowance. The zipper is going to be in front. So I folded it in. So I'll go ahead and cut out my back neckline. Okay, so I'm cutting out the back neck depth, my shoulder slope, then my back armhole. So I will start from the other side of the hip. You can see the allowance I added on the hip side. I added 1 inch. You can see on the hip. Then I'll cut the back armhole. After cutting out the back armhole, we're going to transfer this on our fabric. After transferring it on our fabric, before I will cut out the front, we are going to modify the front. Okay guys, so now this is the fabric I'll be working on. I have this flower crepe fabric, so I'm going to fold it into two. Remember, we are going to be folding into two. It will be on fold. So I'll place it. I'm going to leave ½ inch on this center front for joining. Remember, I'm going to join the center back and center front. The center front will be having zipper rather. So you can see, so this is what I have. I added ½ inch on the center back. Okay, so this is it. So I try to make sure that everything is well cut out. So this is what I have here. Okay, so you can see the ½ inch I left for joining is going to have joining at the center back, then a zipper at the center front. Okay, so I'll set this aside, then we'll go ahead and modify the pattern for us to be able to cut out the front. So you can see I've opened out my allowance, the one I folded in. So for this back crotch, I'm going to eliminate it now. I'm cutting out the back crotch. I think we are done. We are done cutting on fabric, so I'm eliminating this back crotch. So this is the original front uh, piece I'm cutting out now. So this is the zipper allowance. I stopped on the hip. It stopped on the hip. Okay, so you can see. So this is, I'm trying to modify this pattern so that I'll be able to cut out the front. So this is it. So I'll cut out the front armhole. I'm cutting out the front armhole now. You can see. So we are done. We are done with this. So you can see now the front pattern is ready. So I'll just go ahead and transfer it on my fabric as well. So after transferring, remember to place your fabric on fold. So it is on fold now. I'll just go ahead and trace out what I'm going to trace exactly the pattern paper I have. So I'm not going to, you can decide to add half inch for that zipper side, or you decide to leave it. Okay, so I cut out exactly what I have there because I wanted just 1 inch for the allowance, which I have added already. So I'm going to notch that zipper. You see, this is my zipper allowance. I'm notching it. Remember, we are not going to be using lining, so there will be no lining. We're just going to be sewing straight. So after that, the next thing is to cut out facing. So I'm trying to pin it. You can see I'm trying to pin the zipper allowance. So I pin that zipper allowance down. I'm going to set my pattern aside. So this is the front. I'm going to fold a piece of fabric to cut out facing. I like using facing a lot. You can decide to use bias to sew the neckline, but I like having a neat finishing. So I'm placing my neck. You can see I've folded a piece of fabric. I'll go ahead and cut out my facing. I'm tracing out the neckline, then the shoulder slope, then I'm going to cut out. So you can use 3 inches width for your facing. So this is how it's going to look like. It's going to be in 2 places because of the zipper allowance. So you can see this is my facing. Okay, so I'll pin it down. This is how it's going to look like. Okay, so this is the second side. So this is it. After there, we're going to fix our zip. Okay, so I'll set this aside. This is the crotch line. So this is how I'm going to be sewing on the crotch line. You can see, so the crotch line ½ inch into the zipper allowance. You can see how I'm marking it out, trying to highlight it. Okay, so guys, so I'm going to pin the crotch area. So when you open it, this is how it's going to look like. You can see, so this is it. This is for the front. You can see there is no waist joining. Remember, we are going to still add our darts because it's going to have a dart. So here I'm trying to cut out the pockets. Okay, this, I think what I'm doing here is I'm trying to cut out the back facing. Okay, so this is for the back. So going to cut it out. You can see I'm done with the cutting out. Just place it like so. Remember, the back also is 2 piece because there is a joining at the center. So but after sewing, we are going to close that opening at the back. There is opening at the center back as well as the front. The front carries a zipper. Okay, so this is it. Later on, we are going to close it entirely, just like so, into the crotch line. Okay, it's very easy, guys. So simple, very easy. So I'll just go ahead and pin. I want to secure it down. So this is how it's going to look like. So here we are on our cutting on my sewing machine. Okay, so you can see I'll go ahead and mark out my dart. So this is my dart. The dart, what we marked on our pattern paper, I'll go ahead and transfer it on the fabric without cutting it out. So I'm trying to sew the crotch line. I've sewed the crotch line, stopped from the zipper. I stopped where the zipper is. So this is the dart. Remember to put your dart. You can decide to skip the dart if you want it so loose, but this is more like a fit. The upper part is a little bit fit, while the down is more like a palazzo. So this is it. So there's the neckline. So this is the neckline. I want to attach my facing, my hairstay. You can see I want to make it the neckline firm. So this is the neckline. I will top stitch, then turn it to the right side. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so this is it. Okay guys, so if this is your first time of coming into my channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much to all my wonderful subscribers. To my returning subscribers, I thank you guys so much. And to the passers-by, you are highly welcome. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Okay, subscribe, like and share, and please hit notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so thank you so much. At this point, if you find this video helpful, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Okay, so we are still in the process of sewing. We are trying to sew to couple up our fabric, our jumpsuit. You can see, so this is, you can see at this point I've added my zipper, my sleeve. So you can see this is the front. Remember, the zipper is at the front of the jumpsuit. So this is the sleeve. It has a short sleeve, a short sleeves. So this is it. This is how far we've gone. So you can see my pocket. I'm yet to close the side, so I'll just go ahead and shape the side. So this is it. After that, I'll go ahead and close. So I'm trying to mark out the measurement for my sleeve. So from here I'll connect it, then going to measure the bust. So I'm trying to mark out the measurement. Okay, so after that I'll close the both side through the pocket. You can see from the measurements also, then close the pocket down to the hem like so. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. So after that, then I'm going to close this you can see the crotch area. I'm going to close it down like so. I'll close it from here down to this side through to the other side like so. So after that, now we're going to hem the down part. You can see, just go ahead and hem the down part. Then after that, our beautiful jumpsuit is ready. Thank you so much guys for joining me on this tutorial. Here is the final look. You can see this is the final look of our beautiful jumpsuit. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. See you in my next video.